Welcome, huge movie fanatic Nate, stopping on by. This time I'm coming at you for a kind of an interesting, well, to me, a kind of an interesting video idea. It just occurred to me like a couple weeks ago that, wow, this is the 20th anniversary of me first going to Half Price Books and first getting my very first used DVD from Half Price Books. And, I've never forgotten what DVD that was. As a matter of fact, I've got it right here, and the coolest thing in the world is that I never took off the price tag, so it's actually like legitimate proof of this having been purchased 20 years ago, as they put the month and the year on the price tag. So as you can see here, the Getaway, the special uncut unrated version, which is something I never owned until sometime after, obviously, as you can see here, February 2005, something that I kind of wanted to own but never did until sometime in 2005. I got, as you can see here, from Half Price Books sometime in 2005 for $4.98. I could always remember that the Getaway was my very first DVD that I got from Half Price Books, and I was like, wow, this is, it occurred to me sometime recently that I should actually find this. And it might be kind of cool to just do a video just showcasing this and making a video celebrating, I guess, me shopping at Half Price Books for 20 years. The funny thing is about used DVDs and CDs, my initial thought, and this is before I really started, as you guys may know, you don't necessarily know when I first started going to Half Price, but I've been saying Half Price Books for for several years in videos and stuff, so you guys probably know I go there to get, clearance Blu-rays and DVDs and VHS, and I used to do music, but not so much CDs anymore. But I go there for movies on disc and stuff and VHS. But you maybe didn't necessarily know when I first started going there. Well, here it is, 20 years ago, 2005. And what I was going to say is, before I started getting these used Half Price Books DVDs and movies on disc and stuff, I always kind of regarded used CDs or used games or used movies, DVDs or whatever, as being kind of gross, God, you don't know where they've been, kind of a thing. And I never really thought I'd ever become an aficionado of buying used movies, but that sure changed after I found Half Price Books in 2005. I got to tell you, the majority of the movies and stuff that I've bought in the past 20 years since I discovered Half Price Books, the majority of them probably used DVDs and some laser discs and VHS and Blu-rays and stuff. I really have fun with their clearance stuff, and over the years I've been able to get really great stuff for $2, $3 on DVD, Blu-ray. And back in the day, before they realized that people, Laserdisc became more expensive, they realized that this is more of a recent phenomenon. I think the last 5 or maybe 7 years or so is when Laserdisc kind of started going back up in price. But back when, in 2005 and probably even 2010 and maybe even 2015, Laserdiscs were usually all $1. It was the norm at Half Price Books to just have $1 sticker on Laserdiscs, and I was definitely getting, back when they were all $1, I was definitely getting anything that I came across that interested me. But cut to 2025, and even probably, I don't know if it would have started in 2020. I don't really remember. For a while there, I wasn't bothering much with Laserdiscs, and it's so funny how right when I kind of started getting interested in Laserdiscs again, it's like the price just happened to go up at the same time. Is there just some kind of worldwide mind control computer that just gets everyone interested in Laserdiscs at the same time? So maybe Half Price has the mind control worldwide computers, so they can jack up the prices of Laserdiscs and get everyone interested in Laserdiscs, and then jack up the price of them. But for quite a while I was getting Laserdiscs for $1 a piece and stuff, which those were the days. And I got the super expensive special edition of Aliens that was originally probably $100 when it came out. I got it for I think $3, or I don't remember. But stuff like that. So now, of course, Laserdiscs is so old, you know, that they're starting to go back up in value, and same with VHS. VHS back in the day used to be, you know, I think all their tapes were $1 as well, and now they price them, you know, based, you know, each one is individually priced based on what they think each one is worth or whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much it. As always, I'm just blabbing about this and that or whatever, but I'm like, yeah, 20th anniversary of me for getting my very first, here it is, used DVD from Half Price Books, and you've already seen the proof. The stickers look quite a bit different these days. Well, now there's like a barcode kind of a sticker on there, so they can just scan it or whatever. But I think they still have a price tag kind of like that. If they have a clearance, you know, $3 sticker, they got to put over the barcode price or whatever. But yeah, I'm like, you know, if I was a bigger channel, maybe Half Price Books would, you know, give me store credit or whatever for constantly plugging their store. But being such a small channel, they don't give me the time of day. So I guess there's that. But yeah, it's so funny how initially, you know, the idea of like a used DVD or something was just so nasty to me. Like, God, I mean, that thing could have been anywhere, you know. And who the hell wants to touch that? But that was my initial thought about used DVDs and, you know, video games and VHS or whatever. But once I started to see like the clearance prices and even this price, you know, for this at the time, $4.98, I'm just like, wow, you know. And the thing is, the great thing about, you know, movies on disc and stuff is if it ain't scratched to shit or whatever, it's going to play just as good used as it would new. So I'm just like, yeah, that basically 20 years ago is when I kind of went from buying exclusively new to like, God, if I can get it used at Half Price Books for a fraction of the cost and it's going to play exactly the same, let's go for that. And who cares if it would have been stuck? Who the hell knows where it was stuck, and, you know, now I'm touching it or whatever. But yeah, you know, I haven't had any, well, I don't know if I've had any ill health effects due to holding this used stuff held by who knows what and placed who knows where or whatever. But I'm still alive 20 years later. But so I guess things are okay. I can't imagine germs and nastiness. So I'm going to stay on this for, you know. And then this movie is, you know, notorious for being like, you know, the sexual explicit scenes with Kim Basinger and, you know, Alec Baldwin at the time. So it's kind of like, you know, it's so funny that, you know, this was the first used, you know, DVD I got from Half Price, one that would, you know, you might want to not, I'm just holding it throughout the whole video. But like I say, 20 years later, I'm sure anything that was on here is gone or whatever, but or not threatening. But yeah, that's basically the video. Mr. Blabothon, you know, Blabovision guy just keeps blabbing. But just a video about yay me and 20, you know, God, imagine how much money I've given to Half Price Books. Yeah, that's my video about, I guess, celebrating my 20 years of being a Half Price Books customer. And just think of all the money, though, that I saved by getting so many of these movies just, you know, at reduced prices and stuff. And another thing is, you know, it'd be interesting to know how much stuff I bought over the past 20 years that I haven't even watched. You know, if you're a movie fan, physical media fan, you know how that goes. You know, you've got a whole plethora of, you know, stuff that you've bought that, you know, might even still be, well, not so common for it to be still shrink wrapped if you get it at Half Price Books, but, you know, a lot of stuff that you bought in movies and things or TV shows that you haven't even watched yet. But that's the whole fun of being, I guess, you know, a movie fan, of physical media purchaser or whatever. So 20 years of Half Price Books and Nate, you know, yay me, I guess. Guess that pretty much does it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, we'll catch you on the next video.